in the car. All right, we're on day 2. We're on day 2. I spent the whole day trying to figure out what to say. I need some light in here, it's too dark. Anyway, we're on day 2 of our journey and I'm feeling pretty good. 15 minutes a day and you can be Batman. No matter how much grease or oil you put on your chain, too much will have you slipping away. Boy, I hope one day you just like a serpent. Yo, it's crazy how much fuel price is going up, bro. It's like $2.13 now. I have the biggest stitch ever. If I take another foot forward, I'm gonna lose my step, trip over my pinky toe. Alright, so I decided to do a workout, and what I was told was you want to do low intensity type of workouts when quitting, but then they also said that it showed no significant difference, so I'm just gonna do what I'm used to. And we're gonna start off with doing the in and out, open and closed, 45 seconds. That's pretty good. See, I like this one because it works your entire body. Hold up. Now you just take a 15-second break and you do it all over again. It's not that hard. Second, we need a mat. And we're gonna do some leg raises. Again, 45, 3 times. Drink some water. It's good for your soul. After doing the laying knee raises, take a 15-second break and we'll move on to the plank knees to elbows. All right, plank knees to elbows, 45 seconds, let's get it. Why, bodyguard? C0nfidence. Why, bodyguard? C0nfidence. The why, bodyguard? Whew. He's losing it. Plank knees to elbows, 45 seconds, let's get it. 45 seconds feels like forever when you're down there. All right, 15-second break. That's that many until I catch my breath. Feeling good though, you know? Sometimes you get that runner high and then you get that post-workout clarity. Let's get back to it. "45 seconds, 3 times you need to do it. Yeah. I have to do burpees next. Probably only gonna make 5. God. All right. Burpees it is. Worst exercise to ever exist. Whew. I'm glad that's over. Is it foul play if I just rest this one out? I need a minute. Have you ever wanted to push a bike? Well, now you can with our new program. Come on, 45 seconds, 3 times. Let's do some bicycles. Be sure to always stretch. I've been going on runs recently and I don't stretch enough, especially afterwards, right? And that's tightening up my entire body. I feel resistant. It's blocking me from breathing. This probably isn't a good idea because I'm running on like little to no sleep, but what doesn't kill you makes you only stronger, and that's why I'm doing this, right? So without further ado, I'm gonna say, and good morning everyone else. Tuesday's reflection. I will be presenting the psychological recovery that occurs after smoking, supported by contemporary medical and scientific evidence. So-called. Smoking remains as the leading preventable cause of passing away worldwide. However, research early demonstrates that the human body begins to repair itself almost immediately after the final cigarette. According to the Fletcher and French article, within 20 minutes of smoking cessation, heart rate begins to return to normal levels, and blood pressure starts to decrease. Circulatory function improves as the constriction of blood vessels caused by nicotine begins to reverse. Within 8 hours, oxygen levels in the bloodstream increase. This occurs because carbon monoxide, a toxic gas present in cigarette smoke, begins to decline. Carbon monoxide binds to hemoglobin, a red protein responsible for transporting oxygen in the blood more readily than oxygen, which reduces oxygen delivery to tissues. After approximately 12 hours, excess carbon monoxide is cleared from the bloodstream. That's great. That's awesome. But did you know, as a result, the heart no longer works as hard to circulate oxygen. Muscles and the brain receive improved oxygen intake. No, that can't be. No way. And cardiovascular strain decreases. Wow. Which is a system required for transporting blood across the body, offering oxygen plus nutrients to remove waste products. That sounds pretty good to me. Good enough reason for me to quit. By 24 hours, increased oxygen capacity improves arterial function and reduces vessel constriction. Importantly, smoking significantly increases the risk of coronary heart disease, a buildup of plaque stuck in the arteries of the heart. Risk increases by lowering high density lipoprotein, a group of soluble proteins that combine and transport fat or other lipids in the blood plasma. Other lipids in the blood plasma, commonly referred to as good cholesterol, thereby impairing cardiovascular efficiency. That's pretty good. Approximately 60% of mainstream cigarette smoke particles are deposited directly into the lungs. These particles cause structural damage and suppress immune function. That's not what you want, right? You want to feel liberated. Smoking impairs the function of cilia, microscopic hair-like structures that remove mucus and pathogens from the respiratory tract. As a result, smokers become increasingly reliant on coughing to clear mucus, which is less effective and more irritating. Long-term exposure leads to chronic airway inflammation, immune suppression, increased susceptibility to infection, and airway remodeling, which is the thickening and narrowing of airways. The 2020 US Surgeon General's report concluded that smoking cessation was suggestive intervention proven to reduce long-term lung function decline in individuals with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Wow. A broader systematic review identified 24 eligible trials with more than 7,200 adult participants at random. Participants were evaluated whether exercise improves long-term smoking cessation rates, whether exercise improves long-term quitting. Right? All right. The review found no clear evidence that adding exercise to smoking cessation programs significantly improves quit rates at 6 months or longer, and the certainty of evidence was rated as low or very low. Some trials suggested modest benefits, but results may have been influenced by bias or small sample sizes. Therefore, while exercise improves cardiorespiratory fitness and may reduce withdrawal symptoms and cravings, the current evidence does not conclusively demonstrate that it independently increases long-term control over restraining oneself from indulging. Right? Just got to pull through. It's all mental. Additionally, individuals with asthma who smoke experience accelerated loss of lung function. That's bad. You don't want that. All right. During recovery, individuals should monitor for symptoms of respiratory infection, including increased shortness of breath, wheezing, yellow or green mucus, fatigue, and sore throat. As well, health authorities recommend maintaining a balanced diet. You know, like, you just gotta support the immune functions. It's quite simple. Just drink 6 to 8 glasses of water daily, avoiding respiratory irritants, and it's gonna be something else. Oh well, we'll think of something. A controlled experimental study published in BMC Sports published in BMC Sports Science, Medicine and Rehabilitation, examined the effects of low intensity workout training on cigarettes. So yeah, The BMC, they examined the effects of low intensity workouts, training on cigarette smokers, hookah smokers, and non smokers. I'll clear that up. Participants engaged in 20-30 minutes of running at 40% of maximal oxygen uptake found that smokers had significantly lower lung function and cardiorespiratory fitness at baseline. A probability lower than 0.001. Wow. Following the training program, all groups demonstrated improvements. Smokers showed significant increases in forced expiratory volume in 1 second and forced vital capacity. Resting heart rate and heart muscle pump pressure decreased. Improvement in cardiorespiratory capacity was significantly higher in smokers than non-smokers. The study concluded that quitting completely remained the most effective intervention, while structured physical activity can help mitigate some decline in lung function among individuals unable or unwilling to quit. Pussy. However, researchers acknowledge limitations, including small sample size and the absence of passive smoker data. In 2005, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, estimated that an average greater than 123,000 deaths per year could be contributed to lung cancer caused by smoking from the period 1997 to 2001. That's what CDC said. I can imagine the reports of today. That'd be crazy. CDC estimated an additional 90,582 deaths from COPD and more than 10,000 from pneumonia and influenza annually. The CDC recommends pulmonary rehabilitation for individuals diagnosed with COPD. These programs include breathing techniques, energy conservation strategies, nutrition guidance, exercise prescription. You gotta get cranked on that exercise. Although improvements in FEV1 are not always consistently reported, it may be safe to say rehabilitation, I'm a frog, improves quality of life and functional capacity. The role of breathing exercises in smoking cessation, the roles of breathing. I was doing some breathing earlier today, and I lost my train of thought. It was great. Breathing exercises are also recognized as an effective behavioral support strategy. Evidence suggests that breathing exercises, right, you hear me? I'm giving you the mic so you can speak. Reduce stress, which stress can be a major trigger for relapse. Improve self-awareness of behavioral triggers, such as if there's an event, be cautious of particular actions. Alright. Helps manage cravings, which typically subside within 3 minutes if not acted upon. And what else? Enhance lung expansion and mucus clearance, as well as stabilize mood during withdrawal, which I think is the biggest one. Do some breathing, help you relax. Don't want to stress out. Furthermore, individuals are 3 times more likely to quit successfully when using structured support services compared to attempting cessation independently. As well, smoking compromises innate immune function and provokes chronic inflammatory responses.
In some individuals, rapid lung function decline becomes disabling or fatal. Wow. Yeah, that's a crazy story. Knew a guy that knew a guy who probably knew a guy, but back to the old guy, he actually died of, I don't know, just giving up completely. Pretty sad to hear, to be honest. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna quit smoking, and then when you quit, you die because you're so stressed out from all the change. Because he was smoking his whole life, and then just suddenly he collapsed because the stress got to him. All right. The concept of airway remodeling highlights the ongoing cycle of injury and repair caused by persistent inflammation, leading to thickened airway walls and narrow airflow passages. However, cessation interrupts this cycle. Findings suggest that. What are they suggesting? They're suggesting cardiovascular recovery begins within minutes. Carbon monoxide levels tend to normalize within hours. Lung clearance can improve within months. Exercise may enhance cardiorespiratory capacity, and support programs can significantly increase cessation success rates. Bro, that sounds so clean off the tongue. In conclusion, bringing something to an end immediately and personally, we'll see. Though we should all see for ourselves. The measurable psychological benefits it does for us. Could you imagine being able to breathe? What a luxury. I feel so sorry for all those grave diggers. All right. Moreover, the body demonstrates remarkable capacity for recovery, beginning within 20 minutes of the final cigarette to exercise. From the final cigarette to exercise and pulmonary rehabilitation, it can partly mitigate smoking related damage. Like, partly. Like, you're not going to get 100% recovered. You're not going to get probably like 90. You're not going to get 90. You'll be sitting around like 70 depending on how much you have done it, I guess, right? I think so. Cessation remains the only proven strategy to reduce long-term lung function decline. Facts. You don't smoke, you have no issues. From a public health perspective, integrating medical support, behavioral strategies, and physical activity interventions provides the strongest evidence-based approach to reducing smoking-related disease burden. Ultimately, the research is clear. People, the earlier we quit, the greater the recovery potential. Just know that, alright? And that's me. Done. That was. If you want to see noticeable change, I guess the best thing you can do is just work hard towards it. Never quit. But do quit smoking.